YouTube, it's me, I'm back. Y'all ready for more Transformers? Because I sure as shit am. My second delivery that I talked about after, who did I do last week? That was Hound. And I told you I had a second one that I had ordered not long after Hound and then 2 more after that. That second one showed up this week like I was expecting it to. And it's a big one. It's a really main character. A lot of people's, maybe a favorite character for a lot of people, and a bigger character as well. So without further ado, let's just get to it. It's the Dinobot leader, Grimlock. You'll see the packaging here is a little bit different. When I first saw this online on eBay, it said Masterpiece everything, but I thought it was another company that just did it to the Masterpiece scale. And it was a totally different company, not the Takara Tomy one that I normally get with the black boxes they normally come in. It actually is the same brand, it's just for some reason it's got a really weird box. It looks like a comic book on the outside. Including the exclusive crown. Now, I think Grimlock only wore the crown in the comics, not in the TV show. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. So yeah, it's got kind of a comic vibe to the packaging and to the inclusions in the package and stuff like that. But anyways, let's get into Grimlock. Grimlock was the leader of a team of 5 Autobots that were created by the other Autobots to give them a little bit more power in fighting back against the somewhat larger, on average, Decepticons. You'll see, I'll show you a clip here. You'll see how the inspiration for the Dinobots kind of came together, how they were created. And this is actually a series of clips that comes from the SOS Dinobots episode, which is their first appearance. You'll see there's only 3 Dinobots at first that they create, but there's eventually 2 more. And this is a series of clips throughout the episode that shows the inspiration for them, the creation of them, the shutdown of them, and then the revival of them, because they're, let's just say, a little bit unreliable. But let's take it away and you can see for yourself.
The Decepticons are behind these shakeups, Optimus Prime. You know how that junk punk rumble likes to make earthquakes.
The tremors are strongest over here, Ironhide.
Let me check it out, Spike. If Decepticons are burrowing behind that rock, my Sonodar sensors will sniff them out. No Decepti creeps, but there is something weird in there. Get your pistons pumping, Sideswipe. Let's clean up this mess. Hey, there's a cavern in there.
Well, I'll be a Cybertronic Bolt Bat. What are they?
Feels like stone, but they look like the bones of some giant creature.
They're the fossilized bones of dinosaurs. Animals that ruled Earth millions of years ago.
Dinosaurs, eh? They must have been ugly suckers. I'd sure like to know more about them.
As would I. Perhaps Spike would be willing to continue our dinosaur education.
This is exciting, Spike. I've never been to a museum.
Careful, don't bump your head.
Wow, man, that's what I call heavy metal.
There, why don't you get some holograms of those babies? The Brontosaurus, then the Triceratops, and finally the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That was a walking fang factory.
Very impressive.
There they are, guys. Dinosaurs. Not very intelligent because of their tiny brains, but extremely powerful.
If only we had some dinosaurs working for us. They'd really shake up the Decepticons.
I'm with you, Wheeljack. We could build robot versions of those oversized iguanas if it was okay with Optimus Prime.
Robot dinosaurs might be useful. You have my authorization.
It'll never work. Big waste of time.
Autobots, and especially Optimus Prime, it gives me great pleasure to present... Will you get to the point? Autobots, meet Dinobots. Look at the size of those things.
Great Cybertrons.
Holy Heterodyne. Allow me to introduce Grimlock, Slag, and Sludge. Dinobots, huh? I thought you were supposed to make dinosaurs.
Dinobots, transform!
Interesting. But what else can they do?
Dinobots, clear this rubble.
And be quick about it.
Of course, the Dinobots have simple brains, just like real dinosaurs. But nobody's perfect. However, we're working on improving their... Huh? They got haywire.
We have to stop these Dinobots before they create a catastrophe.
Watch Grimlock! He's headed for the control room! Maybe I can slow him down.
You'll need help!
Spike!
Oh no, not Teletran 1! Roll us out of here, Bumblebee! Teletran's going to...
The Transformers will return after these messages. We now return to the Transformers.
Oh no! Poor Teletran 1.
Ratchet, over here!
You okay, little buddy? Any major damage? I just popped a few gaskets, Ratchet. Come on, Grimlock! Try stepping on a bug!
There goes an Autobot with guts.
Stand back, kid. I've got work to do.
That's smart. Must be getting old, Ironhide. What you need is a force field.
Hey, not the face, okay? Just had it chrome.
Doesn't anything get to this guy?
Enough! The Dinobots must be destroyed.
Wait, maybe my magnetic inducer can stop them. There. But I beg you, Optimus, please, don't make me pull the plug on him.
I'm sorry, Wheeljack. The Dinobots must never be activated again. They're too dangerous. Now you will witness the power of my fusion cannon. Ready, Rumble?
We need to
return after these messages. We now return to the Transformers.
Bumblebee! Optimus ordered you to stay at headquarters.
I don't like to disobey, but I had to do something. I hope Optimus won't be mad.
He won't be anything unless we can get some help fast.
What now, Megatron? Surely a little bath hasn't ended our Autobot problem. We shall retrieve their short-circuited carcasses and prepare them for permanent dysfunction.
Bumblebee, I can't interface with Optimus Prime. He may already have been terminated.
Or maybe he just can't respond. We've got to try to save him and our friends.
But we don't have enough Autobots to fight all those Deceptorats.
But we do have something else. I've been working on a little research project. I designed these new memory components to upgrade the Dinobots' brains. They'll make them smarter and easier to control, I hope.
But Optimus Prime decreed that the Dinobots must never be activated again.
Any better ideas? We have to do this quickly before the Decepticons get wind of it.
Okay, guys. Cross your transistors or something.
Dinobots, awaken! Go! Save Autobot friends! Save our leader, Optimus Prime! Do you understand? Save friends.
Save leader.
Oh, maybe we should.
We do as told for now.
Don't stress your circuitry. You'll never break those energon chains in your weakened condition. Prepare for terminal meltdown. Decepticons, ready? Aim. What are those? It's one's friends. Ones with face like this. I think that good enough for Slag. You're supposed to know everything. What are those? Scrap metal. Once we finish with them. Speaking of scrap, Megatron, try this on for size. Inhibitor shells. My equilibrium destabilized. Megatron has fallen. I, Starscream, am now your leader. Decepticons, follow me. I don't know what you are, but I hope this burns you up. Keep on Decepticon turf, you happen to tumble. Look out, robot, 'cause here comes Rumble. fighting at all costs. I will lead us to victory. What's this? My friend's weapons. Let's see. Sideswipe's flare gun should dry off your circuits, and Blue Streak's bolts will give you all an instant recharge. Enough! We must retreat! Retreat!
Okay, Optimus Prime, we admit we disobeyed your orders.
And whatever punishment you have in mind, we deserve.
But face it, Optimus Prime, if they obeyed your orders, you'd all be goners by now.
Indeed. Sometimes even the wisest of men and machines can be in error. I have no reprimand for Wheeljack or Bumblebee. But as for the Dinobots, they have proven their value. The Dinobots shall remain among us.
So there's a bit of a picture of the Dinobots and their esteemed leader, Grimlock. They were kind of like real dinosaurs, right? Like, as Wheeljack explained, they had tiny brains. Now, I don't know why he just didn't build them bigger brains, but that's the way it works, right? So it made for a more interesting storyline. So Grimlock was a very powerful robot, even more powerful maybe in his T-Rex mode, and he valued power in terms of physical prowess more than anything else. And he came to blows with Optimus Prime a few times because he thought he would be a better leader. He thought Prime was soft because he wanted to protect the humans, and he was always preaching maybe violence isn't the first step, it's maybe the last resort, let's try some other options and stuff like that. So Prime always had a job in front of him in keeping the Dinobots in check, but over time Grimlock and the rest of the Dinobots came to value their role within the Autobot hierarchy, and the rocky start they got off to over time, kind of smoothed out, and they became kind of just regular old Autobots, if not the dumbest of Autobots. So let's have a look at Grimlock's G1 toy. As you can tell from those images, it was actually a pretty good mold for a 1980s mold compared to some of the other ones. Looking at the back of this, you can see his T-Rex mode here, of this Masterpiece one, and his G1 Tyrannosaurus mode doesn't look too much off of that, right? Like, it was a really good, well-designed toy. Especially considering it wasn't something that they had to just change into a vehicle or something that might be a little more regular. They had to turn it into a T-Rex with the movable jaw and little tiny arms and a tail and stuff, right? So I would think that would have been a little bit of a harder design to do. So yeah, I thought the G1 toy was a really good mold. I actually have it, although I can't find any of his weapons, but I do have the Grimlock toy, but I'm super excited to unlock this one, unbox this one, because as much as I love my G1 version of Grimlock, I have a feeling I'm gonna like this one even better. So let's get to it. All right, Mother Goose and Grimlock, let's do this. And sorry for the lighting in here today if it's a bit off. I'm filming this, the tape's already been split. It's snowed a lot recently, and our skylights are covered, so there's no sunlight coming in, so all I've got is the overhead lights on, and it gives off, not as good of light as you know, natural light, right? That's what I find. Oh baby, yeah, he's big. Oh mama. Oh mama. I think his card's in black and white. Strange. Waiting on a crackdown, clamp down. Here we go. Here we go. Yep, King Grimlock. But it's in black and white. Strange. His instructions are like a comic book too. Also in black and white. That's kind of weird because the comics weren't in black and white back then. So, but that's unimportant. What's important is what's right in here. God, he is big. I expected him to be big, but he seems even bigger than I thought. So, double blaster, Cao Cao. His crown, his energon sword, whatever it is. And, oh, what's this? Oh, the covers for his tail, okay. So here he is. Yeah, he's heavy, he's got some metal, whereas most of them are plastic. He definitely has some metal involved. Oh, look at the head. Oh my god, this thing's amazing. Yeah, so there he is. There is Grimlock. Now he comes in his robot mode, whereas most of the time they come in their car mode, or their alternate mode, whatever it may be. Some of the different ones tend to come in their robot mode, so I'll have to transform him back, or into beast mode, and then back into robot mode after. But hopefully, it doesn't look like he's going to be that hard of a transformation, to be honest. Because he's kind of going from one anthropomorphic thing to another, right? Even though dinosaurs, are they anthropomorphic? I don't know. But either ways, things that walk on legs. So let's switch over to some time lapse and let's see what he looks like when we get him into T-Rex mode. Behold the Lizard King in all of his glory. At least in his robot mode glory. But did you see the pictures of the T-Rex mode? Honestly, this is the first of these Transformers that I've seriously considered keeping him in his alternate mode. Because I do like to store them on my shelf in robot mode. It showcases their characters better, and that's how you remember them mostly, is in their robot mode. You know, it's just, for me, it's all about the robot mode. I love the alternate modes, but for me, it's the robot mode. So, but this one, that Tyrannosaurus Rex, he's a big character, but he seems even bigger once he transforms into the T-Rex, and it just looked so cool that I was like, oh, but I am deciding to keep him in robot mode. But the bright side about the Grimlock mold is that, other than the cassette tapes, the little tiny cassette tape guys, his is the easiest transformation of any of them yet. Like I said at the start, I thought maybe because he's going from walking man beast to dinosaur beast, it might not be that bad, and it wasn't. It was actually pretty easy. So this is a guy that I could switch back and forth if I really want to, if I want to show him to somebody or whatever. Now, I'm not going to do that a lot because, again, the more you play with them, the more you wear them out, the more an arm will fall off or whatever, right? And I don't want that to happen to any of these guys. Grimlock actually here was a surprise purchase. He hadn't come up at all in any of my searches before when I was researching any of my other characters that I've gotten. And one day I decided to search for him again out of the blue. It had been a while, and then he came up, and he was more than the average bot, but he was still well under $100. And I thought, hell, may as well. And then he's went even further beyond my expectations, especially based on his price, right? So this is one that it was kind of a surprise acquisition and is now one of my favorites. So win, 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 keep on winning. So beautiful. And he's got a couple of other little features. Again, the instructions are in Japanese, so you have to kind of go by all the diagrams. So sometimes some of the features are lost on you. Back here, this one, you can kind of hear that. There's a button back there, and there's some batteries you can put in there. So I'm assuming he makes some roaring noises and stuff like that. He's also got both his robot head and his T-Rex head. You can change the color of his eyes. So both right now are on red. That's the way they came. But you can change his T-Rex eyes to blue, and you can change his robot one to green. So that's a couple of cool little features. And yeah, and then when I had him in T-Rex mode, you'll see his tail was silver and it kind of ended bluntly. I didn't realize in the tip of his tail you can fold another little tiny tip of it out. So I didn't notice that in the instructions. So yeah, but otherwise, what a character. So until next time, we got one. It's possible my next one is going to be here this week, but I'm thinking maybe it's going to be more the week after because there was a span of a couple weeks between these orders. So so I may have one next weekend, but I may not. So, but either way, there's going to be something coming in the next couple weeks at least. So until next time, I bid you adieu. I was trying to come up with something clever again, and I'm just not that swift. So, sayonara.